WEFM is SVG.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Alrighty. Good morning to everyone, and we are back with you for another Activated Mornings for today, the 12th of August, 2024.
Good morning. Good Monday morning to you people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the diaspora and our neighboring brothers and sister islands as well.
Yes, please.
Yes, morning, everybody.
Morning. And before we even go much further, right? Today is a very special morning. And I'm trying to raise my voice because I'm hoping that the person hear it. The one person who's in the office with us at this time. So good morning to Mrs. Susan DeFreitas Williams. A little birdie left a note for us. So that's probably an indication as to who it is. But a little birdie left us a note and informed us that today is your birthday. Most persons call her Miss DeFreitas, right? But it's actually Mrs. DeFreitas Williams. So Miss DeFreitas, hoping that you're hearing.
Happy birthday to
you. Happy birthday to you. I'm going to be singing properly. Happy birthday.
Oh, big up yourself today. I hope you have the best day ever. I hope you have an amazing day, a wonderful day. Should we tell her to take the day off?
We would love to, but she's already in the office. But maybe she wouldn't stay very long this morning, right? So, Miss DeFreitas, my first encounter with you was last year when I came here to work at WEFM, and I must say that it's always been such a pleasant interaction with you. I feel like you're our office mommy, right? So hoping that you are going to have a good one today and maybe a day filled with some surprises. Who knows?
Indeed. And I mean, most people love surprises, right? Once it's a good surprise.
Yeah, once it's a good surprise, you know. So I'm hoping that everything today will be a lovely one for you. All right. So yes, already on the live, we have Anna joining us, and several persons already messaged earlier this morning on the WhatsApp. So good morning to everyone. Before I forget again, because since last week I was supposed to say good morning to my neighbor, Kenan. All right, I tell her if I don't write down things, I would tend to forget them. You know, that's like the honest truth, right? I do have a friend of mine. Like every time I go into town, I have to walk with this list. It's always on a white piece of paper and a list. And every time I go somewhere and I stand up, I have to mark off what's on it. So I did looking like a little old woman, right?
I put that in my phone.
Not yet. I just stand up with this piece of paper and a pen. And every time I go somewhere, I mark it off. And I'll be like, yeah. I remember my mother used to do it when I was younger. And I was like, why is she doing that? You know, looking like you don't have a good memory.
But like, as Pig said to it, I come, and indeed you come and see for yourself.
Exactly. And I'm saying for me, that's the thing. Like once I get into town, everything needs to be done at that one time because I ain't doubling back. I ain't doubling back until I have a reason to go again, you know?
I agree. So, correct.
So I make my lists and I mark them off, you know? So yeah, that's how it is. So Dianna, how was your weekend?
I had a normal weekend. It wasn't bad. But there wasn't anything exciting, really. You know, it's one of my weekends are generally normal. You know, I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything interested. The most interesting part of my weekends are usually going to rehearsal when I have a production or something to rehearse for. I did not do that this weekend, so it was fairly normal. However, for the entire weekend, I kept thinking about that plane crash in Brazil.
Okay.
I don't know. I love traveling.
That's why you think
I
about
do
it.
not like the plane ride though. I really wish you could have take a van. I mean, even though land accidents are more common than plane crashes, I really, really wish I could take a van or some other form of land transport to go everywhere. I don't like the plane.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That
Say a
just
prayer. Say a
bothered
prayer.
me.
I mean, listen. You know what? Let me not say it. Let me
Apart
keep my
from that, I
thoughts to
really
myself.
don't like being up high like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm up there, and once I look out the window, I started the first time I traveled, which was last year. I was so excited to by the window. I was like, I'm gonna look outside and enjoy the view. And when I saw the view, I got so scared. I closed the window and tried my best to fall asleep.
Oh, serious?
I don't like it.
I always have window seats on a plane. I need to see where it is I go in. If anything going to happen, I need to see. So I always want to have the window seat.
Yeah, I was too scared. I don't know. So I just
Yeah.
kept thinking every time there's a plane crash, I just tend to think about it. It's one of those scary things. It's beautiful but scary at the same time.
Yeah, I get you. I don't know. I think maybe when you travel a bit more or have more
Probably.
experiences, you'll be like, all right, whatever, you know.
Yeah, probably.
And this is why when you experience like a turbulent flight, you really have to stand and what persons would stand and clap or clap the pilots, right? Because I remember like one time I had a really, really scary ride coming up from Trinidad where I just flipped floops. Like my stomach was actually going floops. Like it was just dipping, right? Because there was a lot of air turbulence. It was actually raining as well too, you know. So every time it dipped, you feel it all in my stomach. Yeah, it was horrible. But we shared and we clapped and everything because you're leaving your life in people's hands.
Yep. Indeed.
So, yeah. All right. So I didn't really do much on the weekend either. Saturday it rained a lot, and we saw from on social media that several places were flooded. I noticed in Bookament, which is a bit unusual for that area for me. That stretch after the gas station. Well, there are several stretches, but it's the one like after the gas station when you bend the corner going down. So that area was flooded. I noticed. I think somebody in the live said on the comments that it was in Jelly. So in Beckway, that area also had like a gush of water coming down. I couldn't figure out.
Yeah.
I really couldn't figure out what was happening there. Like where did the water originate from and how come it was flowing so forcefully. So that area was also and then I think another area was it Brighton,
where the wall collapsed.
Right?
Brighton.
So that area also. So those are the three places that I saw, areas that I saw on social media. So I am not sure if anywhere else was severely affected.
Yeah, and I didn't see anywhere else either. Same three things I saw. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so 'tis the season, everyone. We are in the rainy season. We are in the hurricane season, and we have to be mindful of saturated soil as well. The weather forecast says that it should be a rainy day today as well. So we just have to be mindful and on the lookout, etc. All right. So yeah. All right. So I didn't go anywhere either on the weekend. However, I came across something very interesting on a video that I was looking at on YouTube, right? And I realized, so when I posted it, because it was news to me and it was news to other persons as well, right? So I gotta tell you how it is I end up watching the video in the first place. But so I was looking at this video on YouTube, as I always do, because YouTube is like my friend. And people be watching Netflix. I just be on YouTube.
Okay.
And then I came across a video. So it was a video of several different persons, right? But I'll tell you why it is. It caught my attention initially. So in that video, so I had a braid in my hair and I hear something about the name was mentioned and then they said in the Caribbean island of St. Vincent. So I'm going to turn and be like, St. Vincent, this is my St. Vincent. So I continued listening. So the video was actually making reference to a gentleman by the name of Franklin Seals, right? He was born in 1952. He was the fifth of 8 children, and his father was a merchant seaman and a government employee, and his mother was a homemaker, right? From Wikipedia, it said that his parents' name are Olive and Francis Seals, right? They moved to New York in 1960, and so he is actually an actor. So he went to accompany a friend to an audition at Juilliard, and if you know of Juilliard, it's a prestigious performing arts school where someone saw him and they saw his potential and they offered him a full scholarship to the same school, right? from what it is I got in the video, it says that he is probably the only known Vincentian graduate from Juilliard. Now, I don't know if that has since changed, but that's what was said in the video, right? He acted in a PBS drama called The Trial of the Moke. Then he appeared in films like The Onion, Field, and Southern Comfort. He had recurring roles in shows like Silver Spoons and Hill Street Blues and Amen. And he also performed in several plays where the LA Times had described him as one of America's most compelling stage actors, right? He was also a talented painter. Now, when it is I posted it on my WhatsApp, a friend of mine in Trinidad, so she's a bit older than me, she said she remembers him from the show Amen, right? But I had never heard of it before.
Me either.
Never heard of it before. But she said but she did not know that he was of West Indian descent. He was a Caribbean, much less to be in a Vincentian, right? So this was a bit of news that came across to me, and I just found it absolutely interesting because to see that, and when I looked at certain clips, he was there also in a show with George Jefferson. You know George Jefferson of the Jeffersons?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he had a role in that particular show, of maybe him and Jefferson, well, quote unquote Jefferson then, were on another show, right?
Okay.
But he was a big actor.
That's very interesting.
He was a big actor. And the thing of it is I did not know of him before. He died at the age of 37 in 1990, right? So this was news to me. And it seems as though he was born in Caliacor. His family was from Caliacor. So yeah, this is the thing when I tell people, like, when I'm always looking at YouTube, I look at things and I'm always coming across these random information. But this was good information to know. And
it is. And as a creative and a performing arts enthusiast, I'm gonna go look into Mr. Seals. Next time I meet Daki, I'm gonna ask Daki about Franklin Seals.
Yeah, and I'm going to look to see if I could find some of the plays that, not some of the movies that he acted in, to have an appreciation of his art or who he is, or just to see a little bit more for myself. I noticed that one of the comments that I got in reading a little bit more, that he said that he sometimes found it difficult to get certain roles because he didn't look black enough. No, he's mixed. He's of mixed descent. And but he said he didn't look, some persons thought he didn't look black enough, or they thought he looked too Hispanic or too Latino, so it was interesting. This was interesting. So people, when you think you're just on YouTube not doing anything, they probably like me and just read it or looking at random things, and through the random things we get a lot of information, right? So
that is so true.
That's some info for some persons who may not have known on Franklin Seals of Vincentian descent.
Good. You said this station is about entertainment and information. That's some wonderful information right there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Roleza, for being on YouTube. And me too. When you started off explaining that you were on YouTube doing something, I said, is it a video she wasn't supposed to be seeing? How it's sounding?
So what happened, to be honest, what the video was about was, I think, is either 10 about celebrities or actors who died from HIV.
Oh, okay.
So he actually did die from HIV, right? So that was the reason why I believe it caught my attention in the first place. And then from that is where I discovered who he was, right? So, yeah. All right.
Thank you for that.
All right. So we know that the Olympics concluded on the weekend. Yesterday was the closing ceremony.
Yeah. I did not look at the closing ceremony. In fact, I don't know. I hope this isn't too strange to say, but I was not aware that it was closing so soon. I was like, wait, Olympics done?
Yeah. Okay,
cool. But yeah, I didn't pay attention to the closing ceremony. I did read that thing you sent with the records and so on, but
all right. So just to note that tomorrow we'll be having an interview with Shafika Maloney and Handel Robin at 8:05 to 9, just to get a little bit more of their experience with the Paris Olympics, the 2024 Paris Olympics, and a lot of stuff we were hoping to get out of that interview. But just to note, in terms of medals, the USA actually walked away with most of the medals. They walked away with 126. China received 91, Japan 45, Australia 53, France 64, and Great Britain 65. All right. Interestingly, US and China tied for the most in gold medals, both tying with 40 for gold medals. All right. And there was also another table. The nations exceeding expectations.
Boy, I was
Guess
really
who in the
hoping.
top 3?
Roleza. Grenada. Is it Grenada?
Grenada is one of the. So this, I'm actually reading this from BBC Sport. So they have a table called Nations Exceeding Expectations, but this is based on per capita, the population size, right? So Grenada is listed as number 1, Dominica number 2, and number 3 is St. Lucia. So our neighbors, they're listed in the top 3. All right.
I was disappointed I didn't see us there, but when I saw our neighbors, I said, okay, cool, nice.
Yeah,
Don't
but
worry,
they
we're
medals.
coming.
You remember the medals, right?
Yeah,
so that's the reason why, right? And so 4th was New Zealand, 5th was Bahrain, and 6th Jamaica. So of the top 6 positions, the Caribbean islands actually take 4. They are 4 in 4 of the spots.
Wonderful thing for we coming, man. We coming. We are coming.
All right. So
that's incredible for us. I'm really proud of Grenada, Dominica, St. Lucia, and Jamaica. But Jamaica is always, in the run, always doing great things. So for Grenada, St. Lucia, and Dominica especially, I'm really happy for them. Really glad that they were able to put themselves up there. They're on the charts. They're there, and I strongly believe, which seems like an obvious thing, that's going to be some serious motivation for them come next Olympics. But we have our little motivation. So don't worry. All are we coming, but
every last week coming to take over the world. Caribbean to the world. Let me do the Jamaican head movement to the world. All right. So at this time, we are going to jump and take a break. And up next, we will have with you today's traffic talk.
It's back to school with Quartz Optical. Get